What's going on, everyone, and welcome into Plaisance Podcast, filled to the brim with glitchy analysis and freezing cold takes, so cold that they're boiling hot. In this episode, we're continuing our college football playoff series. We're going to be talking about UCF this time. Let's go ahead and get right into the stars. Running back. This running back room is stacked. RJ Harvey and Penny Boone are the guys that I want to talk about, both of them. 1,400-yard rushers from this past season, and they join together in the same running back room. Man, that is going to be amazing to watch. And then to pair with them in the backfield, KJ Jefferson from Arkansas, triple threat option in my opinion. I mean, if there was ever a team to bring back the triple option like Army has or Georgia Tech did for decades, this is the team. UCF is a really talented in the backfield. I am a big fan of what they've got going on there. So those are the three stars to look out for on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, Lee Hunter is going to be the guy that you want to look out for. 3 sacks last season as a defensive tackle. He can get to the passer or to the quarterback. I definitely think that he's going to be an integral part in stopping the run here for UCF this upcoming year. If there's anything that this UCF team needs, it's to stop the run because they're going to be chewing clock all season long. Let's go ahead and get into a couple storylines. They are a mighty underdog of a team. They were 6-7 last year, but they lost 3 games by a combined 4 points. Especially when I think about that Oklahoma game that they barely lost when Oklahoma was ranked like 6th in the country. They blew out the Big 12 runner-up 45-3 in Oklahoma State. John Rhys Plumlee was the major factor in the fact that this team went 6-7. He had some major health issues last year as the quarterback, but Gus Malzahn, it seems like he's rebuilding these Auburn Tiger teams that he had, upsetting Alabama, getting to a national championship. I definitely think he can do it at UCF, but he lost a lot this past season. Let's go ahead and talk about it. For starters, he lost his 1,000-yard receiver, Javon Baker. He gets drafted to the Patriots. Although it was in the 4th round, I still think that is a key loss for this team. When you're talking about lower tier Power 4 teams, when you lose talent like a 1,000-yard receiver from an SEC team like Alabama, you really count that as a loss. Corey Thornton hits the transfer portal. He goes to Louisville. John Rhys Plumlee, although he didn't get drafted, he got into the NFL. I think he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers now. I don't know if he'll stay on that roster, but regardless, those are all 3 major losses for this team. The addition side of things, they did get a replacement for John Rhys Plumlee, KJ Jefferson, which that is not anything that is definitely something to think about when you see quarterbacks with such similar playing styles. I definitely think you're going to see better continuity. And so KJ Jefferson coming in and being such a dual threat quarterback like John Rhys Plumlee, it's going to be phenomenal for this UCF team. And then Penny Boone, another 1,400-yard rusher. I already mentioned that. 15 touchdowns last year for Toledo. He is going to be the second running back in this offense, and it's going to be phenomenal to watch. Now, the going gets tough for UCF now that they're in the Big 12. Over the last decade or so, UCF had finally turned itself into a group of 5 perennial contender. I mean, I think they had 6 or 7 10-win seasons since like 2009, which is extremely impressive. However, the biggest problem now is that they have to play 9 in-conference Power 4 games. That's really tough to do. And when you look at their schedule, not only do they have to do that, but they're also going on the road to go play Florida. They also are going to be doing that again next year. It gets really tough when you have to play 9 in-conference Power 5 or Power 4 games. Then you play a SEC team on the road, but you still only have a pretty much group of 5 roster. It's hard to win a lot of games. But I said it before and I'll say it again. They are a mighty underdog. Do not underestimate Gus Malzahn. That's when he is at his greatest. I definitely think this UCF team could pull off a couple of upsets, but we'll have to wait and see when we get to the record prediction. The last thing I want to talk about is that this is going to be the Lightning and Thunder duo that we haven't seen since Reggie Bush in 2005. This UCF team last season with just one 1,400-yard rusher was top 5 in college football in running the football every single game. They're going to be number 1 this year. Mark my words. KJ Jefferson, Penny Boone, RJ Harvey, and they have even more talent and depth in the running back room. There's not a lot of receiver talent on this team, so I definitely think they're going to be leaning on the run every single game. Pound the rock. That's what we're going to be seeing from this team. Now let's go ahead and get into our record prediction. I have them going 6-6 yet again in the regular season. They got some pretty tough breaks on their schedule, so let's go ahead and talk about it. They have a good mix of easy games, but then extremely tough ones. So they open up the season at they host New Hampshire. They host Sam Houston. Both of those very easy wins for UCF. They're going to run the rock all day long. This is going to be very fast games here, just because when you run the football, the clock rolls, and this other team is going to go 3 and out and 3 and out and 3 and out. So I expect UCF to probably win these games like 45-3 or something like that. Then at TCU, that is a very tough road game to start the Big 12 season. I think TCU is much improved from last year, and so I've got them losing that game. Hosting Colorado, although UCF can run the football, I think it's hard to do that when you put your defense out there over and over and over again so quickly, because this Colorado team is much improved. They're going to be able to stop the run here, and I definitely put Shedeur Sanders over KJ Jefferson. That is a win, even though that's a loss for UCF, even though it's at home. At Florida, it's hard to win in the swamp. I don't know if any Power 4 team can do it on a consistent level, except for maybe Georgia or Alabama. So UCF definitely cannot pull off that win right there. Hosting Cincinnati, this Cincinnati team is much improved from last year, but I definitely see UCF winning this game. Their offense is just too talented, especially in the backfield. I'll give them the home field advantage as well as the skill position advantage there. That's a win for UCF. At Iowa State, again, like Colorado, I give the quarterback advantage to Iowa State as well as the skill position group. The defense is locked down, especially in the secondary. So UCF takes another L on the road, hosting BYU, hosting Arizona at Arizona State. All 3 of these programs in complete rebuilds. Maybe Arizona, I take that back, is not in a rebuild, but they are coming to UCF, and I don't know if they're as good as Colorado and Iowa State on defense. UCF is going to be able to take advantage of that and pound the rock on this Arizona team. I'll give them the home field advantage here. That's a win for UCF, although it will be a close one and one of the better games to watch in the college football season. To wrap it up, at West Virginia, Morgantown is a really tough place to play. I don't think that they've got the juice to go all the way up to West Virginia and win that game. And then hosting Utah. Utah, to me, is the best team in the Big 12. I've got them probably going 11-1 or 12-0. I'm going to have to give UCF the loss there, even though they're at home. So 6-6, but a much better 6-6 than last season. I think the Gus Bus will probably stick around for at least another season. There's a couple of potential upsets here hosting Colorado. I mean, I'll give them like a 2% chance to beat Utah, especially considering that late in the season injuries happen and whatnot. So maybe that's a win. But like I said, a mix of easy games and extremely hard ones. 6-6 is a successful season to me, but that's going to do it for this preview for UCF. Make sure you stick around for next time, and we'll be talking about, I believe, SMU. So see you next time. Thank you for watching.